Welcome back, city builders, to Nouveau Springs on the Azure Gulf map in the Sunset Harbor DLC. When I put in this forestry district that we're looking at right here, I was trying to go for kind of a European feel or look, or irregular look. It wasn't quite as successful as it could have been. I think mainly because I stuck with these small plantations. If I had mixed up the size of the plantations, this might have been a little bit more successful in terms of trying to evoke a European appearance. But one of the cool things here too, I like to try to work around what's already native in the map. So it's not really a feature of the district, but this old abandoned factory is sitting here trying to show some history of the city. We have this old factory and these unused rails that are now used because I put in a new cargo hub right here. So I think that's kind of nifty. And then this is only half of the forestry industry in this build. There's this section here, and then there's another section all the way over here. This was actually the first forestry district that I built. And then, again, I was trying to find ways to kind of aesthetically spread out across the map. And so forestry, there's a lot of trees in this neck of the peninsula. So that's why I opted for forestry here instead of more housing and industry or other types of industry. But this was early on, the first forestry industry that I built. Now, what's kind of cool here, I think, is, and this I picked up from a Biffa video as well. I think this is a neat little hack in the game. You can actually stretch your districts across the map if you use the little tiny brush here, and then you can create a little snake and draw. Now, you have to be careful that you don't cross two different districts as you're doing that, but I think it's a cool little trick. And one of the reasons I think it's really handy is you can minimize some of your overheads, because every district you put down, you have to have a main building. I'm not sure where my main building is here. Is that my main building? Nope, fire station. Somewhere in here is the main building for this district. But because I've connected them together, I only need one main building. So we've consolidated the expenses, the overhead expenses, so that we can maximize output. Now, this district's doing fairly well. You could see we're exporting at least 3 times as much in terms of raw material as we are importing. So the importation is coming in terms of keeping warehouses and storage facilities at a balanced state. But there is a net export, so I'm overproducing raw forest products at this point, which is a good thing, because as I expand the unique factories, I am definitely going to need those raw products. The only other facility right now that's using the forestry products is the furniture factory. So, this whole chapter of videos that I'm putting together here are all about expanding resource extraction and the unique factory capacity in the city. So the fact that I'm looking at an industry that is overproducing to the degree that this one is really, I think, a good thing. And it will serve well in the long run as I need to expand production of paper and plain timber. All right, so that is a summation of the forestry industry in this map. Or in this city. The next piece that's up for this video is last entry. I worked on the ore extraction facility. You can see it's humming along pretty well. Since I put the Eden project in, industries are not producing quite as much pollution, so there's a degree that this looks kind of sanitized, I think, and it doesn't quite look as dirty and gritty. So as it could. So I may have to go in and do some more detailing in here to make it look like a used industry, if that makes sense. But what I want to focus on today is taking these raw ore resources that we're extracting and turning them into special goods that could be used in factories. After the last entry, I decided to go ahead and put in ore storage. It makes sense. It will help cut down on traffic. And it does, I think, lend to the realism. I do think that, now that says returning to facility, I've spotted a couple trucks at the end of last episode actually delivering ore for export to one of these railheads here. I forget which one. So it wouldn't hurt to have a rail terminal a little bit closer. So this video, what I want to work on is production of special goods. So there's a couple things that need to happen here. One, I may have this entrance point for the rail located at the wrong spot. Although in terms of the hills here, well, I don't know if it really, I could bring it up this draw. I need to bring rail up in a way that we have a cargo terminal, I think, that's located up here somewhere. And then we need to have capacity for storage of glass and metals and production of glass and metals over in this zone. So I have a significant amount of development that needs to happen to make this work more efficiently. And it may be, so let me just try something here. I think this used to be a riverbed. I think this draw is the perfect entrance point, and I'm going to end up demoing this over here. So let's see what I can do. All right, so now what I want to do is try to flesh out this. This is, oof, that is not very flat. Let's see, this is going to be interesting. I might have to do a lot of terraforming for this. But if I bring this road back here and then here. So I think I want my major storage to be on this side because the highway is going to bring in ore. So I might drop a couple, maybe one or two. Now what is this? That's ore, that's sand. Now this needs ore and metals, so oh, look at my highway entrance. That might be too big. And then we'll move that kiln right here. Okay. Metals, and then we need glass. Okay, so this is going to be the warehouse row. I don't want that right there. I'm going to slide this over here for the moment. I may put... Let's get rid of that. So what we have here is obviously we have our cargo terminal to pull, export ore and or metal and or glass, but also as we put in unique factories over here to be able to move special goods to unique factories over here. Now, it's also possible that there's space up here to put unique factories up in this area, but we need to see what the oil facilities end up looking like. Essentially, I've layered my storage closest to the highway because that minimizes any through traffic. Sand and ore will be deposited here from the mines. Let's see, what does the traffic flow look like already? 85%, not too bad. A little bit of orange in here, but at least there's no congestion. And then we have this layer of special goods production. So we have our metals, we have glass, we have metals from the kiln as well. So we're producing significant amounts of metals. Okay, so we have our extraction point over here. None of this has been beautified or detailed. Let's see what traffic flow looks like. That little entrance there might get stressed. I might have to figure out a better solution here. But it's actually not too bad. And then over here, our traffic flow is still at 85, 86. 100 miles an hour on this highway network. Sweet, sweet, sweet. All right, so I need to wrap this. Look at that. Oof, now my trains are backed up. Seriously. Let's see if that becomes a problem. But we're going to sign off for now. Next week, I don't know, I might do some detailing and but detailing and cleaning up this, or we may move on to oil. Next entry, we shall see. But this is humming along pretty well for the moment.